We now return to Littlesprout's story, continued, episode 3. Yes, we're not allowed to say his name, but he is a large black cat. Stormheart's eyes widened. Could it be? But the thought was quickly interrupted. So, how long you here for? Thinking about joining? Lost or... The older rogues didn't really keep her informed, unfortunately. Oh, well, funny story, he smirked. Oh? North asked. We got captured. My sister and our friend is here as well. I hope they're all right. Oh, that makes sense. The older cats never tell me anything. But don't worry, I saw them when I arrived. They're sleeping together, nice and safe. I'm more worried about you. She looked over his open wound. Let me patch that up for you. Stay here. Stormheart tried to interject. You don't have to... But she was already gone. She knew exactly where all of the cobwebs were in the barn, so it only took her a few moments to go over, grab some, and head back. Stormheart gulped, glancing at her again. Really, you don't have to. But she was already laying down next to him, examining his paw. It's no problem. My mom taught me all about herbs. She carefully leaned down and tended to his wounds. She couldn't help but looking up at him every few moments and then quickly refocusing on the task at hand. Thankfully, it wasn't very deep. It would recover soon. Once she was done, she sat next to Stormheart. He asked her a question. So, did you grow up here, or... Yes, I was born here. My mother still lives here. I'm not sure who my father is, though. I was told he died when I was only a kid. I bet your mother is beautiful. That would explain your looks. I mean, you know, he said, trying to cover himself. Thanks. She's our grumpy medicine cat, and pretty old now, but I appreciate the compliment. She blushed. Since they were both pretty much stuck here, they decided to lay down and chat for the rest of the night. The rain never did stop. It only got worse and more windy as it became early morning. Back in Shadow Clan, we can see that Marrowstar is on top of the Leader's Rock, about to hold a meeting. Cats of Shadow Clan, gather for a clan meeting! Most of the cats were sleeping in their semi-dry dens when they heard Marrowstar's call. They begrudgingly came out, confused. Once most of the cats were sitting in the clearing, looking up, Marrowstar continued. Our young warriors are missing. We will be going across WindClan territory to search for them. We are ready for war if it should come to that. Most of the clan was fairly excited about war, while some questioned. Brindleshade and I will take the lead. Everyone excluding queens and kits and young apprentices will be coming. Taking a few moments to catch her breath before continuing. No excuses. The sun slowly could be seen creeping into existence as Marrowstar leaped off the high rock. Shadow Clan, move out, she said, as the horde of cats began to follow her. The rain had caused all of the land around to be so muddy, some cats slipping and covered in mud, but that didn't stop any of them. Marrowstar continued without hesitation, leading all of the warriors to the barn. WindClan knew better than to mess with Marrowstar when she was angry. The group of cats all gathered together before they entered into the barn, taking the rogues completely by surprise. And then chaos ensued, each side fighting with all of their might, blood slowly beginning to cover the cobblestone, just as Silverfern woke up. Quickly, she jumped to her paws. Bubbleweep! Bubbleweep! She nudged. Wake up! Shadow Clan is here. We have to go. Bubbleweep's ears perked up at the sound of fighting. Oh, let's go! She meowed quickly, following after Silverfern. The two started heading over to the corner where Stormheart was, but paused for a moment, looking down outside of the barn and just to see what chaos was ensuing. Now facing her brother, she was confused about where the other cat went, but assumed that she must have ran down to join the fight when it started. Catching her breath for a moment before speaking, outside is crazy. We need to get back to camp. Bubbleweep also added, Stormheart, let's go! Quickly! Huh? What? Oh, all right, Stormheart said, still trying to wake up, the three of them bravely dashing into the storm. Silverfern managed to dodge the fighting cats, running right next to Bubbleweep, making sure she was still there. But turning around, she realized that she lost Stormheart. Where did he go? Stormheart! Stormheart! She yelled, finally locking eyes with her brother, but he immediately began to look around. What was he looking for? Finally, Stormheart spoke up. Keep going, Silverfern. I'll meet up with you. Go! She was frustrated, but nodded. Fine! Silverfern and Bubbleweep began running back to camp. They weren't sure if the rest of the clan knew about this battle and needed to go warn them. Returning back to the fight scene, you can see North looking around. She suddenly locked eyes with Stormheart when she felt a large cat knock her to the ground. It was Marrowstar. North could feel her body crumble onto the cold, wet cobblestone as Stormheart yelled in the background, No! Don't hurt her! A black rogue with white speckles sneered, Come on, North, get up. She wasn't a very good fighter, and most of the rogues would tease her about it. She tried to get up, but couldn't kick off the large cat. It was hard to see with how hard the rain was coming down, but she spotted Stormheart clawing at his leader. Please, Clan Cat, I don't want to fight, she pleaded. Marrowstar, stop! She is a good rogue, I promise! Suddenly, Marrowstar was attacked by a rogue from behind, causing her to let go of North just long enough for her to run, taking a few steps before she realizes Storm isn't running. Come on, Stormheart, she pleaded as she dashed behind a hay bale. She stood there, trying to catch her breath for a moment. Thankfully, she wasn't bleeding. Thank you for saving me. I'm so sorry that my leader banned you. It's all right. I owe you my life. No, he shook his head. I just paid you back for saving me. Oh, of course. You are the nicest clan cat I have ever met. There was a few seconds of silence as they both blushed, and then Stormheart spoke. North? Do you wanna join Shadow Clan after this? We can run back to camp. We'll join my sister and Bubbleweep. North looked down, frowning. Well, as much as I would love to, I need to take care of my mother here. She is old and I love her very much. I could never get her to join as well, though. But maybe we could still see each other? Stormpaw was obviously disappointed, but smiled and nodded. Of course, I would like that. I'll never forget you, North. I would like that as well. I'll never forget you, she says, gently nuzzling him as he nuzzles back. After a few more moments, the two cats had decided to try to help calm everyone down. Thankfully, most of the cats had already gone back to where they came from. Immediately, Stormheart noticed a large black Tom sitting atop crates. He couldn't believe his eyes and continued to walk closer. The rain was pouring down so hard, but this cat just smiled at him and leaped away. Stormheart knew who it was. It was Mason. Adrenaline took over his body as he began to follow his father. North's eyes widened as Stormheart seemed to know her leader. Where was he going? She took a few steps forward, thinking about chasing after him, when her mother, Wisteria, bounded forward. You can't follow him, little one. She fluffed up. I'm not little anymore. I need to make sure Stormheart is okay. I know, she nuzzled North, but you have to defend your group. I'm sure Mason has a plan for him. That's what I'm worried about, she sighed. What if I never see him again? No, I have never been wrong about my advice before, right? The mother asked, offering a reassuring smile. You're right. Let's get inside. The fight seems to be over, and I'm freezing. The mother and daughter both quickly walked back into the barn. Even though it should be midday, the sky is still black and angry as Stormheart continues to chase Mason. As they were both jumping over a rock, Mason slipped in the mud, tumbling to the ground, letting Stormheart have enough time to catch up to him, the younger Tom's tail lashing back and forth. I've been waiting forever for this day. Mason quickly sprung to his feet and faced his son. And what would your sister think about this? Killing your... But he was cut off. Stormheart immediately leaped forward and clawed at his face. You killed my mother! He yowled, swiping again. Mason this time getting hit pretty bad, yowling in pain. Ugh! As he stumbled backwards. Blood was now dripping from Mason's face. Now, I'm going to end your reign, Stormheart yowled. The father remained silent for a moment. Stormheart just glared, confused. Within a flash, Mason lunged at Stormheart, knocking him to the ground. You're dead! Unfortunately, Stormheart was no match for such a strong Tom, and he fell, gasping for air. Mason stood over him, smiling, ready to bite into his throat. When suddenly, a large, yellow glowing cat landed from out of nowhere. It was Badgerclaw. He swiped at Mason's eyes in an attempt to at least temporarily blind him. While normally Badgerclaw was not a violent cat, being able to seek revenge on his own murderer felt just, and he was also protecting his son. Mason laid on the ground, confused and dazed, as Stormheart rose to his paws. Badgerclaw? The StarClan cat continued to fight, his vision blurred. He felt dizzy, but he kept attacking Mason. Mason couldn't move for a few moments, trying to catch his own breath before kicking Badgerclaw away and off of him. Don't ever mess with my son," he growled, landing another harsh blow. Mason managed to get up for a few moments, but immediately Stormheart was leaping at him. Badgerclaw also refused to let up, both of the cats now ganging up on Mason, whose blood continued to ooze from the claw marks. For a moment, Mason managed to kick Badgerclaw and get him down, but Stormheart was quickly on top of Mason, raking his claws down his back. "Get off of him!" he said, as Badgerclaw weakly managed to pull himself up. Mason laid there, struggling to break free, but both cats were standing on him, his eyes widening with fear for the first time in his life. Stormheart yelled, "Doesn't this look familiar? Now look who's scared!" "Let go of me!" Mason yelled back. "A warrior doesn't need to kill to win, but Mason is a threat to us," Badgerclaw growled. "So what must be done will be done," he meowed, giving Stormheart space to take the final blow. "I am ending your life, just like you ended my mother's," Stormheart yowled and deeply slashed into Mason's throat one final time. A sound could be heard coming from Mason. It sounded like a plea, but was cut off, his head just dropping to the side. Stormheart backed away, blood dripping down his paw. Thankfully, at least the heavy rain seemed to wash some of it off. "He's gone," Badgerclaw panted, out of breath. He quickly also cleaned his starry pelt, then mewed. "Good job, Stormheart." Thank you, Badgerclaw." Casually stepping over Mason's body, Badgerclaw approached Stormheart. I have to go back to StarClan, but I will continue to watch over you from above," he purred and licked the top of his son's head. The young warrior purred. "Tell Littlesprout I did it." Badgerclaw quickly nodded before disappearing into the fog as the scene begins to fade to white. You now see a familiar cat sitting in front of you recognize as Littlesprout. Hi guys, it's Littlesprout, and I hope you like this episode. It was so much work and trying to get, the scenes and stuff, but I think it was totally worth it, and I hope you guys liked it. And, the part that I can't stop thinking about is Badgerclaw coming down from StarClan to fight, because let me just say, the person who plays Badgerclaw climbed a tree to do it, and I didn't know till it was happening, and it was so funny, and so I hope everyone appreciates that part, because it was amazing. Leave a comment. What was your favorite part out of this? What are you most excited about for episode 4, which is already recorded and I am editing. So yeah, if you like this video, please don't forget to leave a subscribe or to subscribe, because it means a lot. We're almost at 10K. I'm so excited. Yeah, okay, let me go. Bye guys.